What's going on? This is Gangrel, the Vampire War, and I'm doing a little Fangin and Bangin at the GalaxyCon out here at OKC, Oklahoma. So I'm doing some kind of gimmick card interview this guy's passed off on me, so I'm going to get through it here. Cue cards. And if I could read, he has faith in me that I could read. What originally drew you to wrestling, and when did you know it would be more than just a passion? Well, that's not a 3-minute question right there. That would take me an hour to answer that thing, what originally drew me to wrestling. But I was a fan of professional wrestling ever since I was a kid. Florida Championship Wrestling growing up in Florida. Kevin Sullivan, Barry Windham, Blackjack Mulligan, Dusty Rhodes, of course, some of your Florida guys there. But what got me into professional wrestling is I was actually looking for a better construction job at the age of 17. And I saw an ad in the newspaper that said, beat people up for a weekend and on the weekends and make great money. And I went down there and checked it out. It was a wrestling school, and the rest is history. I was 17, so I've been wrestling ever since. I was trained by Boris Malenko and Rusty Brooks, and went on to train in Calgary with the Hearts in the Dungeon, and on with Alpha and Sika, the Sam Owens. All right, so that's enough of that question. Now, what moment in your career that you felt like a true turning point? All right, so this is another hour-long answer, and it truly is a moment. And I'm not just joking because I don't want to do this interview, and I'm fussing about this whole time, but actually I don't mind doing an interview, but this is another hour-long question. Turning point in my career, I was 19 years old in All Japan Pro Wrestling over in Tokyo, Japan. Japan. But I was in Japan wrestling, and under mask, we were called the Black Hearts. Struggling, had no business being there, working with wrestlers like Dr. Dusty Williams, Terry Gordy, Masawa, Kawada, the Malenko brothers, Dean and Joe. The list goes so on and so on. Where these guys all been like Hanson and Spivey wrestling, Stan Hansen, Dan Spivey, wrestling for 30 years, grown men over there, a young lad trying to figure it out. Ended up with a match with the Cam Express, Doug Furness and Danny Crawford. Had no business being there. It was for the All Asian straps, so they were able to carry us through 20 minutes in Budokan Hall live at the Budokan, and they carried us through that. And from that moment on, there's nothing I ever wanted to do more than be a pro wrestler, because they gave me faith by just carrying us and being kind to us. That one match, and that turned my whole thinking around, because I was about ready to pack it up and call it a day at that point. All right, so the next question: can you share a story from the road that still makes you laugh or shake your head? No, I'll go to jail. Thank God we didn't have cell phones back then, so I'm like, if we would have had these cameras and phones, I would have been canceled in prison or something. I don't know, but stories. Another long one, but Owen Hart would be a good story. I wrestled the building. It was in what building was it? I'm drawing a blank on the building. Well, I'd go in that building, and I could picture the building. I just can't picture what town it was. And I was sitting in the same locker room every day, day in and day out. This particular day had a bunch of different people in there. I went to the match. I wrestled. I came back to put my watch on. I love my watches, and my watch was gone. And I didn't make a big deal out of it. I was leaving the building, and Owen came up to me and asked me what time it was. I didn't think nothing of it. I had another watch. I had put it on. I gave him the time. 3 months later, same building, same locker room, same stuff. And then I'm leaving out. Owen comes up to me. Owen Hart, rest in peace, came up to me and he goes, "Hey, Dave, what time is it?" And I looked, and I had that watch back on. What conspired there is he waited 3 months, apparently hid my watch in the ceiling, hid it from him for 3 months, came back to that building, put it back in my bag in that same locker room. So, he was a patient ribber, but it always makes you smile about Owen. You'd have to know Owen to get that joke, and it was funny. He was very patient, him and Brett. Next question: what kind of opportunities brought out the best in you and drew out your best performance? I don't know. This is going to sound crazy, but I was married to a professional wrestler named Luna, and if we got in a crazy fight, like she's just screaming at me, threatening my life, going to cut my throat, right before I go to the ring, I always seem to have a tremendous match. That would bring the best out of me in the ring. I don't know if I came out with a little extra rage and anger or what it was, but I took it as motivation, and that's what worked for me. All right. Is this the end of these or what? How many questions are there? Over on 4? They're clearly numbered. 4 questions. You see that? 4 questions. All right. What kind of opponents brought you out the best in you? Oh, what kind of opponents? See, I didn't even answer that right, did I? What kind of opponents? Aggressive ones. See, I read that totally wrong. I told you I couldn't read. At the very beginning of this interview, go back. I told you I couldn't read. He said he had faith in me that I could. Clearly, I can't. I see what I want to see and read what I want to read. What kind of opponents? An aggressive opponent. Steve Blackman was one. Very physical. I just like very aggressive opponents. I think the style I came in, going to Calgary first, Stampede Wrestling, and then to All Japan, down to Puerto Rico. It was a very aggressive style. So I went to Memphis, where it was very working, easy style, but I prefer a physical style. So Steve Blackman or something would bring the best out of me. So question number 5, wrestling number 5. What's one match that the fans always bring up that you remember most about? One match that they always bring up. Well, they always bring up the bloodbath, but I think it would have to go back to this picture right here. It wasn't a match I was in. It was a match where me, Christian, and Edge, ourselves, the 3 of us, the trio, the unholy trio, were stuck hanging in the ceiling at WrestleMania in a Hell in a Cell match with Big Boss Man and The Undertaker. They had a Hell in a Cell match, and we were stuck up there. The breakers broke, and we hung there. It was minutes, but it felt like hours to us. Well, that was it. So there, I answered all your questions. Or actually, I went back to... I'm back on number 1. So this is Gangrel, Vampire Warrior, coming to you from GalaxyCon and OKC. Want some, get some, bad enough, take some. But whatever you do, keep fanging and banging.